along with one of our board members. And then we will end off by announcing a new initiative that we'll be launching in 2026 called the Guiding Light Program. And you guys on this call are the first to hear about this initiative. So we're super excited to share this with you guys. We haven't released it on social media or anything. So this is an exclusive sneak peek into some of the plans we have for 2026 and what the Guiding Light initiative will entail and how it will help support our initiatives in our community. So before we move forward, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible people behind the scenes who make all of this possible. At Servant Leader Scholars, our work is powered by a dedicated team of directors and committee members who support every aspect of our mission. So we have a marketing committee, a career services committee, a partnership committee, a development committee, scholar programming committee, and then this year we actually just launched our engineering committee. So shout out to engineering for allowing us to become more efficient and grow and just improve our processes. Our team has grown over the years, and it's just really beautiful to see how so many people from different facets of life come together and create different ways for scholars to improve their service and their leadership in the state of Georgia. So just want to give a round of applause to our team again, and thank you all. We have a couple of new members this year, so shout out the new members. We're so excited to have you guys, and this year we're going to hit the ground running as always. We also want to thank our amazing board members. So we have 6 amazing board members. We have Marcus, Naboke, Nick, Suzanne, Latrina, and Alicia, who all support us in their free time and their spare time. We're all so busy, and we just really, really appreciate these people. So if you all could give a round of applause through our chat, in the chat, through emojis, or even out loud in your home if you feel like it, I will. Woohoo! Go our board members. So yes, this is an amazing team, and we're just so excited. Like, I'm sure you can feel the enthusiasm pouring through me as I'm talking on this presentation, but we have the best team, and it's really amazing to just connect with like-minded individuals who share a goal. I will now pass it off to Kevin, the man with the plan, the founder of SLS, the one who made all of this possible, and he will go over an overview of our mission here and take us into the rest of our presentation.
Thanks, India. Hey, everyone, good evening. So excited and super grateful that you all took your Wednesday night and joined us here. Truly, I'm humbled just to work with this amazing team. Shout out to the development team and the marketing team who put this together. So thank you all. And so first, to kind of just kick things off, just want to give you an overview about who we are and what we do. For some people who are on this call, you may have been supporters from SLS from years ago, maybe last year, or this may be your first night hearing about Servant Leader Scholars. So we just want to make sure everyone is on the same playing field. So I won't read these slides to you, but I will read our mission because I think there is power in that. And so our mission is to cultivate servant leadership and provide advancement opportunities for underserved students. And so essentially, we just want to make sure that our students in our program and even in our community have the same resources to be successful leaders in their communities and their careers as well, too. A lot of the time in our program, we talk about a hidden curriculum. And so that is basically unveiling those hidden tools or those hidden opportunities and even touch points that these scholars can do to really further their opportunities and their ability to lead and also serve. And so how do we do that? These are our 3 pillars that we have. We have service and leadership, career development, and community empowerment. So I'll kind of touch on the first 2 together because we talk about in our program and in our organization a lot about how we marry these 2. So service and leadership and career development. Service and leadership, that is how do we ensure that our students are not just beings in their communities, but they're active agents of change. And so one of the cool and unique things that our organization does through our program, our students actually have the opportunity to lead service projects. And we'll share more about the stats there. But I think what is really cool is that these scholars are able to really find opportunities to actually create service within their community, but it also ties into career outcomes as well, too. So every year, our scholars are separated into 3 task forces, whether that's operations, marketing, and fundraising. And they actually get to put together a service event, bring out community members, and have them serve within their actual neighborhoods as well too. And so that's also really amazing because they get to tie into these skills that they're able to talk about in their resumes and in their interviews, whether that is project management, budgeting, collaboration, or stakeholder as well too. And then we go into our second pillar, career development. That's part of our bread and butter as well too. And so our program is fixated on how can we also help students in that tech and business industry achieve their early career goals. And so we also try to take it at a broader lens and expose scholars to different opportunities that they may not have even been aware of. I think sometimes when we hear tech and business, we automatically go towards management or software development, but we try to showcase our scholars that there's so much more. There can be finance, there could be HR, there could be product management. And so more so, how do we help these scholars understand their skills, understand their strengths, and tie them into careers that they actually will be fulfilled in. And then that last piece, community empowerment. We want to make sure that our work and our impact isn't just siloed into the students in our program. And so that's where we open up our day of service to allow members of our community pour back. We have mentors who can volunteer their time, and even folks in the community have volunteered their time on our team. As India shared, we have an amazing team of executive team members and board of directors, and everyone is a volunteer. No one actually gets paid for this work. It's just by the goodness of the heart and their really desire to see these scholars grow and continue to flourish within our communities. And we also have a lot of other resources, whether that is mixers or career certificates, to help and provide to scholars who are in college as well too. So that's a brief synopsis of what we do. But I think I've shared a little bit about it vocally, but we kind of want to actually showcase it to you before we go any further.
As my time as a cohort member in SLS, I've learned a lot from leadership, career progression, and just networking with other professionals. My favorite parts were definitely the workshops at Google and Microsoft, being able to network with all those professionals and learn with my cohort to make lasting memories.
What I loved most about SLS was meeting my peers, getting to know them, and also getting to know myself. I felt like I had a lot of unknown weaknesses that I wasn't able to identify, but after being in SLS, I was able to identify them and attack them with mentors around me to help.
The reason why I serve is because it is therapeutic. It makes me so happy. It's almost like a form of self-care. Me giving back to others makes me feel so much gratitude. It makes me feel more thankful for everything that I have. And it just brings me so much joy. So that's why I serve.
Through my experience in SLS, I've been so grateful to be with a group of driven individuals, to be able to see the impact we've been able to make in our community. Through the skills I've developed at SLS as a leader, I plan to continue to be a role model for young men so that they can be pillars in their community.
My favorite part of SLS was definitely the day of service, and not the day in itself, but the fact that SLS enables the scholars just to lead with the purpose of helping others.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Freeman. I am the Director of Scholar Programming for Servant Leader Scholars. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I just wanted to share a little bit more about the programming that our scholars go through. And I really think what makes it unique is what Kevin was touching to earlier. It's that balance of the scholars not only identifying and building their skills to evolve in their respective career journeys, but also be able to help them know how to be active leaders who are able to give back and serve their communities. So as you saw in the video, the scholars attended in their summer programming events at Microsoft and Google for career workshops to dive deeper into what it might look like to work at these large tech and business companies, as well as resume review days and one-on-one career mentorship sessions. And we'll talk a bit more about it later as well, but the big initiative for them to initiate and plan and also execute their own volunteer event at the end of the programming. So our scholars were actually able to, secure some internships there too with those companies, which was always the end of the goal, or always the goal at the end of the day. Go to the next slide. So our most recent cohort, it was our largest cohort to date. We had 18 amazing scholars that represent a variety of universities across Georgia. They also have diverse majors within the tech and business industries, and majority of them are from Georgia. And we had a few honorable mentions of an out-of-state student and a international student as well. And also a little shameless plug, we're looking for our next cohort of scholars for 2026. So if anyone knows any rising sophomores or juniors who love tech and business and giving back in their communities, we want to meet them and know more about them. So thank you. Pass it back to Kevin.
Thanks, Kayla. So this is our best way of trying to give you a snapshot of all we were able to do last year. It doesn't do it justice, but this is just some of the highlights that we want to share. So as Kayla mentioned, we have had scholars who have gotten amazing internships such as Beats or Disney, or even Deloitte. And how we measure it is we measure scholars getting internships 6 months program. So essentially, they've been in our program for about 6 months from June to November, where we've kind of been really just training them and giving them resources. And so now after that, when they're kind of out in the wild, how have they used those resources to then get internships? And so this number actually right here, 70%, is our internship placement from our 2024, because right now we're still measuring our 2025 cohort. What's also exciting and cool is that even from our 2025 cohort, a lot of them have even already gotten internships already. And again, our cohort ended in November. It's January. And so we've heard reports of them getting internships at companies such as Bank of America and all other sorts. And so it's exciting just to even hear the work that they're doing, hearing about their interviews. We still stay connected and talk to them. Shout out to Annie on the call, one of our scholars. And so yeah, we're just excited to see this number continue to grow and improve year over year. And this is kind of also just a snapshot of the students we served. I didn't share it at the beginning, but Serving Leader Scholars has actually been in place since 2019. We've grown so much from a scholarship program at Stevenson High School, my alma mater, to now serving college students across the state of Georgia. So again, happy to see that number grow. And then here you can see 9,000 scholarships. So each scholar in our program that comes through, they get $500 to utilize for their personal, academic, and professional expenses. Yeah, shout out to Cab. And so that is also amazing to see. We're almost at 20K since 2019. And this is even just a cool way to just showcase like where your funds are going. These scholars, they use the $500 stipend. We've measured it and asked them like, where does it go? And they said, academic expenses, professional attire for their interviews, professional conference and workshops, whether they're going to the NSBE conference or even Afrotech, personal expenses as well too. We want to make sure that they also are meeting their needs, whether that is for their rents or utilities, and then also skill-based training and certification. So your money is going to directly impact their lives, their careers, and their academic journeys as well too. So we thank you all for that. And then on this last slide, an amazing shout out and call to just the amazing work that we were able to do and raise about 100,000 since this past year or past 2 years. So again, a big kudos to all the. And so this slide basically talks about our day of service recap. I teased it in the beginning, but this is the work that our scholars were able to do. And so this past year, our scholars took on the goal and journey across their entire cohort of care packages to provide to the Atlanta population experiencing homelessness. So in July, they put together an event at Victory Church in Midtown, and they were able to bring out 90 to 100 community volunteers to pack together bags for essential quality bags that were given to those in Atlanta. And they handpicked the items, they ordered it, they worked with the budget, they marketed it, they helped design the operations and the flow of the actual care package day as well too. So it went flawless, and that was all them. We provide them support, but it was really just amazing to see them work through the challenges and have weekly meetings. You know, they went on calls and they spent their summer putting this together, and we were able to deliver 500 packages. One of our scholars, he actually went to Atlanta Mission to distribute to them. So we partnered with them to actually get it into the right hands. And then they were able to raise about $4,000 in donations to then pay it forward for future scholar cohorts as well too. They have been so blessed or felt so blessed. They wanted to also raise funds for those to come after them as well too. And they hit their goal and surpassed their goal. I think their goal was 3,000. And so for them to hit 4,000, that was amazing. And Teresa, we love that question. And so we'll definitely tell you more about how to volunteer, because we love all the volunteers that we can get. It's an annual event for this. So we would love to see you next year. And we'll definitely make sure that you are on the newsletter as you are right now. And we'll be sharing information about that. So thanks you all. Now I'll pass it over to Najma.
Hi, everyone. I'm Najma. I'm the Director of Career Services, and Kayla and Kevin kind of touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to break down some of our highlights from our career service offerings. First, starting out with our mentor program, which is a one-to-one pairing that we provide our scholars with industry professionals. This supports their networking, their exposure to different roles, and really just fostering that professional growth and providing clarity as they're going through their career journey. And so, as we mentioned earlier, none of this would be possible without our volunteers. Just want to express gratitude to all of our mentors and everyone else who's volunteered through our resume workshops and mock interviews, because they're not only benefiting our students, but it's also a way for you to give back to the community as well. And we've had mentors describe this experience as very rewarding. So if you're also interested in being a mentor, there's opportunities to do that this year and the upcoming years as well. And so with everyone's help, we've been able to achieve 100% career path awareness and confidence in our scholars, which I am super proud of. Next, we have our talent development suite. And so career services really is a large umbrella, but we provide resume tailoring, mock interviews, our LinkedIn community group that we have to share different opportunities. And we go even beyond internships, but also tips for different career like decisions that you might want to make, and also webinars or conferences. And so on the topic of conferences, we also provide access to exclusive events. In 2025, we were able to send scholars to the Forbes Summit and the Atlanta Tech Week for free. And so this really just helped boost our scholars' confidence in terms of interviewing and their resume, and be able to use the skills that they learn at the development workshops in real time at these events. And so next we have our digital upskilling programs. And so as a Grow with Google partner, we're able to provide Google career course certificates for free through Coursera. And so students get access to different career paths such as AI, project management, cybersecurity, marketing, and so much more. And we also have our newest addition to our certificate programs, the Google Cloud Skills licenses, which is more technical, but supports different paths like cloud engineering or machine learning for those who are interested more in the tech realm. And so since 2024, we've been able to reach over 70 scholars across Georgia. So these programs are available not only to our scholars, but also to other college students in the state. And this is providing them some validation and that competitive edge as they're going through their career journey. And yeah, I just want to thank all of our volunteers again and all of our partners. And hopefully this encourages you to volunteer as well. And now I'm going to pass it back to Marcus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus McKinney, and I serve as the co-director of development for SLS, where I'm supported by Mrs. India Knight. We are a team of two running this operations called development. I'm going to take a little time and really talk about this slide and why it's important, because it's actually the reason we're here tonight. When I in India joined SLS 2 years ago, and Kevin showed us the programming, and he said, hey, development is a new thing, growing very quickly. We need someone to help us, grow this. India and I looked at this and we said, hey, there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that SLS is doing, but no one really knows about what we're doing except for the scholars, and they see it. But it's really important that we're able to share this message with those who are actually making it happen, which are our donors. And so we wanted to create this virtual impact forum, and this is created for you. I'm going to start by, saying it very, very plainly. The progress and impact that we have made is only possible because of your thoughtful, committed partners like you. Today is not about a financial update, but it's an accountability moment, honestly. It's our opportunity to show you how your investment is stewarded, leveraged, and translated into measurable impact. During our most recent fiscal year, so our fiscal year ended in July, we generated nearly $80,000 in revenue. Why that's important is not just the number itself, but it's the composition of that. Over 39% of that revenue came from our corporate partners, reflecting that we have strong institutions that have confidence in our mission and our governance. 24% of our generated revenue came from individual donors. That's signaling that there's a personal belief and trust from leaders who see the work that we're doing as essential. And that balance matters. The diversified funding model reduces risk, it increases our scalability, it allows us to plan strategically rather than reactively, and it ensures that we are not dependent on a single source of funding, and that is a direct result of being intentional with our donor leadership. I want to move to the bottom part of this section, which is talking about our expense management. We take stewardship very seriously. This past year, we were able to only spend about $26,000, for the services that we provided. And nearly 86% of that was for programming events, marketing, and direct student support. These are areas that drive core outcomes. And, these are mission-based forward investments and not overhead. As Kevin mentioned earlier, everyone is doing this work for free because everyone is bought into the idea and the mission that SLS stands for. If you also look on the side of the page, we talk about our in-kind donations. I think this is the most powerful way for us to amplify the donor dollars through these in-kind partnerships. Organizations like Coursera, Google, Microsoft, Chick-fil-A, Terry Business School, the High Museum, the Falcons, Jenny's, they have contributed to our initiatives, to our programming, to what SLS stands for. And these partnerships enable us to deliver premium experiences and resources without increasing our cash spend. Basically, I'm saying that is we're multiplying the value of every dollar that you are donating to us. So the bottom line here is support doesn't just fund activities. It builds systems, it equips leaders, and it creates access that previously did not exist. And because of our disciplined financial management, our diversified revenue, and our strategic partnerships, we are positioned not to just sustain our work, but to scale it. And as we continue to look ahead and we're focusing on deepening that impact, we're not growing for growth's sake. We're expanding intentionally where the return on the mission is the highest. And so I like to say all of that to say we are grateful for you and your trust, your counsel, and your continued partnership. And tonight is not an ask. It is a thank you and an affirmation to the investment that you are creating and making to make the work that we do actually happen. And speaking of the work that we're doing to make it happen, I'm really excited to hear from Uganda and our huge partnership with FanDuel. And if we have any FanDuel employees or supporters in the chat, please make yourself known, type your name. We want to see you. Uganda, you have the floor.
Thank you so very much. This is something that we're so proud of to have had happen in the last year, and it's already hitting the ground running. There's so many exciting things that are already working. But before I talk about the partnership, I'm going to tell you a little bit about FanDuel. It's an innovative sports tech entertainment company centered around revolutionizing the world of sports entertainment by providing engaging and interactive experiences for sports enthusiasts. But beyond those platforms, they're also very intentional about investing in early talent and creating pathways for students to gain real world exposure. Their business success, their shared commitment is exactly what led to this partnership. So, with that, I'm going to give you some more details on the partnership. We have there's two main focus points with this partnership. I'm going to start with our first one, career immersion and exposure. We want this partnership to be a resource to highlight early career opportunities at FanDuel. And also we would like to be able to host mixers at FanDuel for students. This can include office tours, employee panels. I'm saying would like, but the partnership's already moving so great. We already got this going. So that's already showing how we're already moving, working towards the goals of this partnership and showing how good of partners we can be, which is very important. This is our first partnership, first of many to come. So another thing that is a focus on our partnership is mentorship and skill building. We want to extend our professional mentorship program and pair FanDuel employees with scholars. This will be in collaboration with Career Services. They already have an amazing dynamic as to how they manage those mentorships and that program. We are here to assist with them with getting those mentors for those scholars. And there's already been enthusiasm from FanDuel about this part too. And then another thing we are that's coming from this partnership is that they would assist in offering mock interviews, resume reviews, and virtual panel series with FanDuel leaders to bolster professional development. Again, we're very focused on making sure our students are ready and able to succeed in the future. This is an amazing opportunity to talk to people who are already in the industries that these students are seeking to go into. To get that insight, it sets them ahead. So talking about going ahead, some of the things that we want to do in the future and that we're planning to do is to create a program that will funnel SLS students into FanDuel's early career pipeline, meaning with some of our students, they will be able to get into some of the FanDuel internships and have early access and things like that into those spaces with those leaders. So this is just some of the stuff that we're working on with this partnership. We're so excited, so grateful for FanDuel and their continuous support and continuous availability to work with us and meet with us. I'm very excited for the many other partnerships to come. Hopefully next year we're giving you even more partnerships that we're working on. So thank you.
Thank you, Uganda. And I think, I'm going off script here, but you didn't introduce yourself. I think you need to let the people know who you are.
Oh, it's true. Hello, everyone. I'm Uganda. I serve as the co-director of community partnerships. I work alongside Angel Adams, and that is my co-director. And then I also work with Kayana. So, yeah.
Thank you. We love this team.
Yes, thank you so much, Uganda. We really appreciate everything that the team went over as we went through our impact section of our presentation today. But now we'd like to transition into our stories and testimonials. So we'll hear from one of our amazing scholars from our 2025 cohort, along with one of our board members. So I'm so excited to transition things into the testimonial side of the presentation, because impact and numbers are important, but of course our student experience is our number one goal here. So yeah, we're really excited about this, and I would be honored to introduce Tanny, who was a part of the development committee when she was in the 2025 cohort for SLS. So Tanny, if you don't mind coming on screen, unmuting your mic and just speaking to your experience and what SLS gave you, and how you feel now that you've graduated the cohort and moved on, and just an update on your overall life.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everyone. My name is Tanny. I'm an industrial engineering major at Georgia Tech, and I had the opportunity of being a part of last year's cohort for Servant Leader Scholars. And I would say one of the most meaningful parts of my experience was being involved in planning the day of service. I was one of the fundraising leads for that project that we were able to support the unhoused community in Atlanta by providing hygiene packages. And through SLS, I think that I really learned what servant leadership looked like, both by practicing it and seeing the leadership team of SLS. I think a lot of the leadership that I saw in practice wasn't about being in charge. It was about showing up, staying organized, and doing the behind the scenes work that helped us. Oh, can you guys hear me?
I'm sorry, you did kind of break up a little bit.
Okay. I was just saying that I think that servant leadership was really represented well throughout our cohort and with the leadership that we were able to be under. And for the day of service, again, I helped with the fundraising, and I was able to make sure that the event had enough volunteers, that we raised enough money to support future cohorts. And I think that that experience really taught me how important communication, accountability, and follow through was during this event, because other people were obviously relying on leadership and us to plan this day of service. So I think it's really taught me the importance of all of those leadership skills. And in my life today, within all the interviews that I did for getting internships for summer 2026, I was able to pull on my experiences from servant leader scholars, talk about the service aspects of it, the academic aspects of it with the Google certificates that we were able to complete. And I did end up getting a summer 2026 internship, and I do credit a lot of that to the Servant Leader Scholars Program. So yeah, I'd say that overall, being a part of SLS has really helped me understand what servant leadership looks like, and all the lessons that I learned throughout the program are definitely going to stick with me as I go on in life.
Oh my goodness, that was such an amazing testimony, Tanny. Thank you so much for being a part of our cohort, raising your hand and volunteering. Tanny is one of our students who actually came back and said, if you guys need any help in the future, I'll be willing to help you guys out. So we will be, working with Tanny as we go through this next year. And it's just amazing to see that our students enjoy their experience so much that they would then volunteer their time as well. So we really appreciate you, Tanny. And yeah, I just look forward to seeing your growth and your career journey as you progress in life. And now I will hand it off to Marcus, who will introduce our board member.
Yes. I have the privilege of working very closely to Ms. Naboke. She has been a board member. This is year 2, right? Time is flying by. So Naboke, I'll give you the opportunity to give your spiel. But Naboke serves as the director of development herself for Cafe Momentum in Atlanta. So she's very familiar with the nonprofit space, very familiar with the work that we're doing, and trying to just serve the youth population. And I think one thing that Naboke is going to be able to explain to you guys is from a board member's perspective is really understanding how this operation really goes. She serves as one of our key advisors in helping us make strategic decisions and making sure that us as directors are, moving in the right direction. And making sure that, the things that we're doing are aligned to our overall goal and holding us accountable. So without further ado, Naboke, you're up.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Marcus. I just want to start with congratulations to everybody on the SLS team. It's been a joy watching this grow. I met Kevin in 2019 when I was working for UGA in the advancement office. And to see it where it is with nothing but volunteer leaders, that's really incredible. And it speaks a lot. Yes, go Dogs. Speaks a lot to the work that's been put in and the intentionality. And I'm just here to make those connections. Strategy-wise, you guys are on top of everything. I just want to point out the reason why I serve on the board is because this organization speaks deeply to my heart of service. And also, Kevin touched on this earlier, the hidden curriculum. I am an immigrant to this country, and I just fumbled around trying to figure things out. And I never understood this other piece of personal development, professional development until I was in my 30s. So I feel like this is a safe space for underrepresented youth to find this and to be connected. And just like Tani said, she had an opportunity to be offered an internship position because of what she's learned from this organization. So that's just a perfect example as to why I love this. As far as just general impact, one thing about nonprofits, and I've been in the nonprofit space for the last 15 years, is that the sustainability of the nonprofit is reliant on individual donors. So even though there are many ways for nonprofits to stay in business, for lack of a better phrase, there's grants. That typically comes from family foundations or corporate foundations, corporate partnerships like FanDuel, who we love, and we can always use more corporate partnerships. And then there's just general donations, but the individual giving, especially at the 24% mark that we have hit, is where the sustainability of the organization goes, because with family foundations and corporate foundations, you don't know what direction they're going to go. So that money's coming in on a year-to-year renewal basis. But with individual donations, we're able to count on that and show the impact to the donors as they go along with us for the journey. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. I love it here. I know I only have one more year to serve, but if you ask me to low-key be another year, I'm willing to do it. So just let me know. So I'm just going to hand this back to Marcus. Thank you so much. Super proud. Love, love, love this.
Love that. Thank you. We love you too. And I think this is a great segue introduction to something we want to talk about. And those on the chat, you on the call, you probably see that all the SLS team have these guiding light backgrounds created by our amazing marketing team. The silent ones in the back that makes everything else happen. And so what Naboke kind of touched on is that individual giving aspect. A lot of what we have done at SLS and sustained ourselves has just been from running different campaigns and having different initiatives throughout the year. But, you know, as we are growing and as we're maturing, something that we are introducing this year is called our Guiding Light Initiative. And what Guiding Light is Guiding Light is a monthly reoccurring donor initiative where we can engage with folks on a monthly basis. You know, why it matters is monthly giving ensures that our students have steady support throughout the year and not just at key moments. You know, life is life. In this economy, and there's a lot of things that, you know, that come up throughout the year that our students may need support with that, you know, we just don't necessarily have the capacity to do. You know, I'm a finance professional myself, and I'm the bad guy. So when people come to me, they ask me for budget approval, and I have to say no. And I'm like, I'm not saying no because it's my money and I care, but there's a rule that I always tell people: you can afford anything, just not everything. So when everyone has limited resources, and you have to decide what is the most effective way to utilize your resources that's going to grant you the highest ROI. And for those who are not in finance, ROI is like your return on your investment. The impact, why this matters. You know, the impact here is going to sustain our programming. You guys have heard from our directors, you guys have heard from our students, you've heard from our board members, you've heard from the founder. We're doing the work. We're doing the work, but the work comes with a cost. There are things that, in order for us to be able to provide these opportunities to our students and our different cohorts, this stuff costs. There are a couple of things, and I might get in trouble for teasing this, but I know that last year there was an effort or idea to start offering micro grants, and you know, to what Kevin talked about in this presentation is this started with an idea that he had from his high school. And, you know, he had been able to build a team and build supporters and people who wanted to pour back into this mission. And there are other like-minded students who want to do the same thing. And they may be passionate about other things, and we want to aid them and provide those type of opportunities for them and provide those micro grants that, you know, otherwise they wouldn't be able to have that starter funds in order to do. So, you know, that really talks to our being intentional. And then lastly, the impact is really just creating stability. Now, Logan hit the nail on the head. A lot of these partnerships and things are under attack with different leadership things that are coming out from the government. There's a lot of policies that are affecting the way that we show up for our communities and how we're able to do these things. But you know what can't be affected? Your money. So things that you care about, things that you are passionate about can allow us to still continue to, fulfill our mission, do the things that we do, as long as our supporters are supporting those things and not relying on those intuition, those bigger companies and foundations, scholarship that come with their own stipulations. So what is Guideline and what will I get from it? As a member of this exclusive society, as someone would say, Guiding Light gives you a deeper connection to the mission through the impact updates, student stories, recognition, and exclusive invitations to like our SLS events. It takes you above from just being a donor to truly being a partner. It really invites you into the inner circle of what it means to be a part of the Servant Leader Scholar family and making sure that you are right there with us as we are navigating this space and helping our students achieve their next moments. I can go on and on about this, but I'm not because I'm at time. But if you decide to join and become a Guiding Light between today and up until February 2nd. So February 2nd is our general lunch. That's when we're going to launch it to the public. But as a member or as an attendee of this meeting, if you join, there is a special token of appreciation that we would like for you to have that is just exclusive to those who sign up today. There is a link in the chat that you can tap to sign up. And there's also a QR code that you can scan on the screen in order for you to sign up to become a Guiding Light. So that concludes the portion of our content, and we're now moving to an open Q&A. And what this session is really meant to be is a conversation. The chat has been active, so we want to invite people to come off and mute to let us know, what are you seeing in the communities? Where are the gaps that you think SLS can fill? We would really love the impact from the people who is making this mission possible. You have the voice of the founder, the directors, all of the people, and even the board members. So you have the ears of all these people who are truly, truly, truly doing the work. And we would really love to hear what you guys are seeing and what type of questions you may have for our organization as we continue to guide our scholars to the light.
Well, to kick things off, just in case anyone didn't have a question initially, I wanted to answer the question in the chat we had about how do you volunteer for our day of service. So I know we might have breezed past it, but I just wanted to clarify that the day of service is typically near April-ish. And so we'll have social media blasts, email blasts going out, and there will be a formal process for you guys to sign up. So you can either volunteer at a specific event like Day of Service, which would be student-led, as we explained, and the students will be coming up with their own initiative. So we can't reveal what that initiative is just yet because we haven't determined that. Or you could join Najma's crew and actually volunteer as a mentor. So there are two different ways that you can volunteer. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear just in case it confused anyone. So yeah, two different positions. One would be more of you show up on the day of the event and actually help the operations of the event. And then versus the mentoring program is a one-to-one relationship between you and a student. And you have periodic calls with them throughout their time in the cohort and just, give them advice and things like that. Thank you, Teresa Carpenter. You would like to volunteer as a mentor. So yes, that would definitely be something that we can definitely get you set up with. And we really appreciate you joining and participating and being super active throughout this entire conversation. Opening the floor to any more questions, but I just wanted to address that one.
Hello. Sorry, I can't turn on my camera, but my name is Jay Butts. I currently work at Microsoft. And I don't know if I've missed this within the presentation, but what is one thing that you all would like to see more from your corporate sponsors? If y'all could have a perfect world within reason, and that sounds very oxymoronic, but if y'all could have a perfect world, what would you all want to see more from current and new corporate sponsors?
Yeah, I think I'll let Marcus take that question.
Well, actually, I would, but I think Ugana's here for corporate partnerships, so I'll
I
let
got
her,
you.
you know.
One thing we really love and we've already really seen is just employee support from different levels and different areas within the organization. So having employees from whether, like, because a lot of the companies can either be like business side, tech side, but again, Kevin talks about how there's careers that we don't know about, you don't think about. So just having that engagement from our partners, employees from different parts of their departments would be amazing. And we've already seen it, so we're very grateful for that.
And one thing I'll add is, I know on the career services side, one thing that we always get feedback from our scholars, and one thing that they're saying is, they want a wider pool of mentors from different areas as well too. And so when we have volunteers who are really interested in being mentors, as you mentioned, Teresa, that is helping widen our pool. We have scholars who are with different interests and backgrounds, again, from electrical engineering down to finance. And so casting our net wide is really helpful. And so when we can have support from different employees from different companies, that really helps us to make our pairings, our one-to-one pairings with our students and our mentors, really more tailored and valuable. So that's another point that would really be helpful from our corporate partners as well too.
But in the follow-up, what does support look like? I mean, anybody could mentor, anybody could have a one-to-one with anybody and foster them. But, is there any how can I put this? Like anything else? There are some schools that may do like a walkthrough through like a engineering lab or like a day in the life or like apprenticeship. Like what does support look like that you all want from SLS?
Yeah. Every summer we go and do office visits. One of them is actually at Microsoft. And so that is where we actively seek help for support. We use our Connect Marcus right here, who works at Microsoft, and really leverage volunteers and employees at the company to give conferences, or I wouldn't say conferences, but little workshops on different topics, whether that is your professional online presence or how to network, or even how to present as well too. And so that is an opportunity to support. And then also giving is another opportunity. I know a lot of major companies, whether that is Google or Microsoft, allow for employees to match their donations. And so if you, for example, give $10 to SLS, you can ask for a request to have it matched. So that's $20, or even some companies as well too, Google and Microsoft included, for every hour you donate, you can have it donated to or can count towards a donation towards Servant Leader Scholars. So that's kind of an answer to your first question, and kind of a bonus as well too that I thought of. Thanks for that question. Good question. How do people sign up for those opportunities? So if you are on this call, you more than likely you went through our GiveButter and you registered for this event. And so with that, you are on our newsletter. Our marketing team does a great job at sending good updates, nothing where it spams you. So one, we ask that you do read our newsletters. We have lots of opportunities. A lot of those volunteer opportunities are centered in our summer programming. So a lot of our work with our scholars in person happens in June and July months. And so closer to maybe March and April, you'll start hearing calls to be a mentor. And then during June and July, you'll start hearing calls to volunteer at our day of service or help with our workshops as well too. Internally, we try to work with these companies to send out requests for folks to volunteer as well too. And then social media is a great platform to stay engaged with us. We are on Instagram and also LinkedIn. I'll ask someone from marketing, may be awesome to help throw in some of our social media handles, but we also do a good job at keeping folks updated with a lot of those opportunities there. And then finally, our website as well too is another way to stay engaged and stay plugged in with all the opportunities. So And lastly, I'll throw in our main email as well too. If you have any questions, or maybe some of them come after this, we love to answer them and make sure that you are involved as much as you can be.
Hey, Teresa, I see you have your hand up, but I'll just butt in real quick. Quick introduction. My name is Awesome. That's my real name. Awesome David is my full name. I've had the honor of working alongside all these incredible committee members, team members, board members alike over the course of, I think, almost 3 years now. But if you've ever gotten any response, any sort of email, text message, if you felt like SLS was hounding you, that is me. I'm the person behind that, but I have a phenomenal team as well who's really supercharged a lot of what we've been trying to do on our side, whether that is being inspirational or evoking innovation throughout what we said. And so a lot of the opportunities that you will see will come directly from marketing more likely than not. Please feel free to follow us on Instagram or LinkedIn. Our Instagram is tagged below. Kevin just added it there, but it's Servant Leader Scholars. If you look up that handle, you can find us anywhere. And if you want to know how you could be involved even further than that, please check out our website. It's servantleaderscholars.org. So really, really happy to have the opportunity to kind of share this awareness. Our incredible team is going to continue to push forward on that front. But if you have any other questions there, I'm more than happy to answer.
Yes, I think Teresa has a question, and then I'll have
I
one.
was just, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, I was just curious as to whether you're looking for volunteers who are, or mentors who are currently within the corporate workforce. I'm retired, but I've worked for Oracle, Dun & Bradstreet, KPMG. I have a project management certification. So I don't know whether, because I don't have that current relationship, so I guess the question is, what are you looking for? It's similar to the other person's questions, but a little bit to the side.
Yeah. And Najma, feel free to add, but your volunteer, as far as being a mentor, it's not exclusive to those who are currently actively in the field. You sound like have a breadth of knowledge and experience, and we welcome that. Again, we try to cast a large net, and we have about 18 to 20 scholars. So our biggest focus is like, how do we make sure that these scholars are aligned with the mentor who they'll actually receive? And so obviously maybe if someone is more on the business front, we wouldn't pair them with a mentor who has more of an engineering side, unless that was something that they were looking to venture into. And so to plainly answer your question, no, that doesn't exclude you. We would love your help. And even there's so many other opportunities outside of being like maybe an official mentor, which is within that 6 months. There are different chats and different even events where we have speakers come in to share their thoughts, even fireside chats. So we would love to have you in front of our students, and whether that's a mentor or even on ad hoc requests as well too. So thank you for that.
To Kevin.
So Kevin, quick question. Go Awesome.
Yeah, I just want to add one small thing. There are tons of volunteer opportunities that are relatively low lift and don't necessarily command a high level of effort, whether that's coming to our day of service or whatever the case might be. And those are ways where you can kind of actually engage with our community and our cohort alongside our team members too. So we will be looking out for that and keep everyone in the loop there.
So I have a question, and maybe India or Uganda might say, we have a lot of people. We have almost 50 something people that was on this call. Let's say we have people who have resources, who have access, who have connections, and they really want to help SLS be plugged in and to go to this next level. How do they go about doing that? How do they go about sharing their contacts and sharing those with us?
I can answer in regards to like my side, but partnerships is always looking for opportunities. We mentioned the corporate partnerships that we have, but also we go to schools and we talk at schools. We also work with different conferences. So if there's anything that you believe will be beneficial for SLS, you should email the partnerships email I'm going to put it in the chat right now about any opportunities or any collaborations that you think would be beneficial for us. We're open to discussing these opportunities and seeing how we can be a good partner to you and you could be a good partner to us. So we're always looking to hear and receive. Yep.
Yeah, and I guess I'll provide an answer on the development side of things. I guess I would say like no matter what type of partner, development's number one goal for 2026 is to grow our Guiding Light campaign. So anybody on the call who's looking for a way to support, like that would be our number one way that we would love for you guys to show support, would be to join our Guiding Light campaign and become a part of that community. Beyond that, I guess I also would hit on what Kevin mentioned about corporations often having like an allocated budget for volunteer work. So a lot of times when you work at certain companies, like they will either match a donation that you have given, or often if you log the hours that you volunteer with a nonprofit, they will send money for that as well. So like I know I work at PwC and we have a process like that. So like I think every quarter I get a free $10, but if I volunteer a certain amount of hours and I add it up, they'll give me like extra money to donate as well. So just exploring the different ways that maybe your company allows you to support nonprofits would be a good way. But I would definitely just like to come back and say the number one way that you could support the development team specifically would be to join the Guiding Light campaign and just continue to like help us grow our sustainability.
Thank you. All right, guys, we are at time and I'm respectful of people's calendars. So before we leave, we want to get a group picture. So those who would like to turn on their cameras, we would really, really appreciate it. We understand if you don't want to, but just stay on the chat because at least we have your name there so we can see you there. I'll let marketing take this over. This is their thing. I'm not really good at this side of the
I wanted to mention
operations.
if you have on a SLS shirt, if you could maybe try to get it in the frame. Like no pressure, I guess, because I'm barely getting mine, but okay.
Right. I'm adjusting the view actually, trying to capture as many people as possible. I think we have majority of folks in the frame and a few folks trickling in. I'll give it like a few more seconds. Y'all don't have to just stay stuck smiling. Give us like 2 seconds. Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna count down. We're all gonna say SLS. Countdown started now. 3, 2, 1. SLS.
SOS.
SLS.
All right. Let me take one more for good measures. Yes, stay smiling. All right, 3, 2, 1. SLS.
SLS.
All right, sweet. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Well, thank you
Thanks
guys so
everyone for
much.
joining.
Please make sure you check in and please make sure you sign up to become a Guiding Light. And we want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this, spending this 1 hour with us tonight.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you all.